pointed out that unless they did something about the high seas, perhaps they should rename it half the World Heritage Convention. Because that's ultimately what they're doing. It doesn't stop at 200 miles, and we should be using that. We should be using that with the Ross Sea to say this is World Heritage status. I don't care whether they can't apply it or not, but we should actually be saying there isn't a double standard for the open ocean and the high seas. So we're partners in crime on this, I think.
Well, I'd like to see that half of the world as a World Heritage area. I mean, why not? As Ghislaine Maxwell, who's going to be, maybe she's in the room right now, she has started a movement herself that all of us can be a part of, because all of us are a part of the global commons, the high seas. I mean, why are we allowing a disproportionate use of the high seas by a handful of nations, a handful of industries, to extract from and put stuff in the high seas? Yes?
Now look, ladies and gentlemen, I know some of you come from that country just north of Mexico. But please do something, because the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea is the dominant, shall I say, legal mechanism for protecting the high seas, and the United States is the only developed country that has not ratified that treaty. It came into effect in 1994, before many of you were born. And the US still hasn't ratified it. It won't. It's signed it, but it won't ratify it. And that's what's stopping it. That's the only thing that's stopping it. Please speak to those blokes up in... I won't tell you where it is. And, but the other thing that I've got to tell you that's critical is the Convention on Biological Diversity, to which the US has by mistake ratified. And that does apply to the high seas. So those are the two vehicles, and the United Nations has been talking about it. But if you can get the US to just ratify the thing that were already signed, you know, 20 years ago,